Wording Works here with another build tutorial. Have you ever wanted to place an object on top of another object at 45 degrees and encountered the objects must align error? Because I've got a solution. Have you ever thought when you're decorating that you want to do something more than just place it on the wall? Well, guess what? I've got a solution for that too. Or how about this? You know how to turn objects to go onto a slanted surface such as this, but despite how hard you try, and despite getting the object in alignment so that they're both slanted, it still won't click down and gives you the objects must align error. Well, guess what? I've got a solution for that too. How about this one? You want to place an object on a curved surface, but all you get is 90-degree angles. Why can't you place it on the curve? Let me show you how. Due to recent game changes, as of June of 2026, objects can be placed directly upon pressure plates, which is frankly revolutionary. If you know much about building in this game, you know that pressure plates can be placed on pretty much any surface, whether that surface is curved or otherwise. And oddly enough, pressure plates can be placed on angles that are out of alignment with other objects. For example, if I place a pressure plate on the side of this slanted foundation and I move it over to this wall and I nudge it in, it's able to be completely out of alignment. When you combine the dynamics of the normal way in which the pressure plates work in the game with the fact that you can now attach things directly to the pressure plate on the black surface, it means that you can do just about anything. The pressure plate can be placed directly upon the floor of another object or the wall of another object at an angle that would normally give you an objects must align error. Notice that this pressure plate is fine attaching to those floor tiles when this other floor tile gives you objects must be aligned. Using the 45-degree angle pressure plate, we can place these objects atop on the black surface and create the effect of having 45 degrees directly on top of one another, with the pressure plate serving as a glue. Some folks are going to see the first 10 seconds of this video and note that pressure plates trigger any objects that are attached, such as toys, on your building or your vehicle, and therefore you can't use the pressure plate. But the reality is you can actually turn all channels on a pressure plate off. And when all of those channels are off, the pressure plate does nothing to your other toys. So let's go through this step by step. First, we place down, or already have, our pre-existing surface upon which we want to create an odd angle. Then we take our pressure plate, we turn it to the angle we would like. For example, I'm going to use 45 degrees. We nudge that up into place, and when it turns green, we place it down. Then, immediately using a wrench, turn off the 4 channels that are triggered by that pressure plate. Take your next object, the one that you want to be at a different angle, the angle of the pressure plate, and then place them directly on top of the pressure plate, one nudge up, so that they are on the black surface of the pressure plate. And the pressure plate holds the object to the other out of alignment object like glue. You can do the same thing with slants such as this foundation and nudging your pressure plate onto the wall and then placing objects directly upon that pressure plate and then place it down. That's how this is held to the wall at an angle that is out of the norm. The same thing's happening here where we have a pressure plate underneath these floor tiles that's on the surface of this slanted roof piece. The same thing's going on here where we have a pressure plate behind these floor tiles holding these objects to the wall on the curve. What's truly crazy is that some of the objects in the game have multiple different directions and surfaces. My son calls our example animal here Bob, and Bob is showing us that all of these different angles can be held by pressure plates placed directly upon the surface, floor tiles being placed upon the pressure plate, and then other objects held out from the pressure plate upon the device. You can create many angles and do lots of different things now using the pressure plates in the game to attach the objects like glue to pretty much any surface. Good luck, you guys. Try it out and let me know what you think.